India's former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is no more. He died at AIIMS in New Delhi at the age of 92. Dr. Singh served 2 consecutive terms as the UPA Prime Minister from 2004 to 2014. His mortal remains reached his residence late on Thursday night from AIIMS and would be placed for the public to pay their last respects. According to reports, national mourning of 7 days is to be declared for the Congress veteran, and all government programs scheduled today are to be cancelled. Cabinet is set to meet today at 11 a.m. IST. Dr. Manmohan Singh's last rites will be conducted on Saturday with full state honours. AIIMS in a statement said that Dr. Manmohan Singh was being treated for age-related medical conditions and had sudden loss of consciousness at home on December 26th. He was brought to the medical emergency at AIIMS at 8:06 p.m. local time. Despite all efforts, he could not be revived and was declared dead at 9:51 p.m. local time. Condolences have poured in from all ends of the spectrum. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and said that he rose from humble origins and made efforts to improve people's lives. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi took to his X handle and said he has lost his mentor and guide in former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. He further added that the former Prime Minister's humility and deep understanding of economics inspired the nation. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra paid tributes to former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, saying few people in politics inspire the kind of respect that Sardar Manmohan Singh ji did. Well, the US has also put out a statement saying the country mourns the loss of former Indian Prime Minister, a key architect of the US-India strategic partnership. He championed the landmark civil nuclear agreement and led economic reforms that transformed India. His legacy of strengthening US-India ties will be remembered. Dr. Singh was the architect of India's economic liberalization in 1991 as the finance minister in the P.V. Narasimha Rao government. His role as finance minister is regarded as a turning point in India's economic history. He ushered in bold reforms which put India on its growth trajectory. He was also the governor of the Reserve Bank of India from 1982 to 1985, where he focused on economic stabilization and financial regulation. And well, for more on this, our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur is now joining us live from outside the former Prime Minister's residence in New Delhi. Hi Dharamjot, the last time you joined us live, you gave us an update of the last rites that will take place tomorrow. Any other latest announcement that has come so far, and also talk to us about the dignitaries who have arrived at Dr. Singh's residence?
Well, Raisha, preparations are still underway at the residence. Just a short while back, we saw a lot of raw material being carried into the house. Security meeting was also held a few minutes ago with respect to the protocol that needs to be followed when Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives to pay tribute to the late former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. Now, as per the sources who've been talking to us, they tell us that PM Modi is expected to arrive right here at the residence behind me at around 10 a.m. So that's about an hour from now. His arrival is also expected before the cabinet meeting at 11 a.m. today. So for the moment, there is a bit of a lull, Raisha, as preparations are still going on. As you rightly mentioned, since Dr. Singh passed away late last night and his remains were brought home after midnight from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, preparations have been underway ever since. A lot of senior Congress leaders who were not in the national capital have also flown in to pay their last tribute and bid farewell to Dr. Manmohan Singh. Raisha?
Right, Dharamjot, you have mentioned the tributes that are pouring in from India, but also talk to us about the tributes that have been pouring in for Dr. Singh from across the globe.
Well, Resha, be it India or be it the dignitaries of the world, if there's one thing that we've been hearing since last night, the common ground, everybody has been talking about how Dr. Singh has been one of India's foremost economists. He's been a social reformer. He was responsible for bringing India out of the financial crisis in 1991 with his globalization and liberalization policies and reforms. Not to forget, during his tenure as Prime Minister, Resha, one thing that is not talked about as much is how India was one of the least affected countries during the 2008 global recession. That too, India had survived under the Prime Ministership of Dr. Manmohan Singh. A lot of other key notable moments under his leadership in the 10-year-long tenure that he served as India's Prime Minister was also the India-US civil nuclear agreement that you rightly mentioned. It's been a milestone for India's national security. So clearly a lot of accolades in the bag of the man who otherwise was sadly referred to as a silent Prime Minister. I think over the years his work has spoken more than anything else, be it media narratives or be it opposition criticism. Of course, as is true for any politician, there are shortcomings, there are flaws that will come about for anybody. But Dr. Singh's legacy lives on as a prestigious economist of India, as a social reformer and a prime minister who really brought about key pivotal changes for India's economy.
Right, Dharamjot, it's pouring in the Indian national capital right now, as we can see. If you can just show us around the on-ground situation outside Dr. Manmohan Singh's residence at this point of time, as we are still awaiting dignitaries to arrive at his residence.
Well, Raisha, if I could just quickly step away for a quick minute. There is a media enclosure that has been created to ensure that proper security protocol is followed when dignitaries arrive. Of course, as you rightly mentioned, it has been pouring. It wasn't this bad earlier in the morning at 7 a.m. when we arrived at the residence, but rain has intensified. There is sporadic lightning and thunder as well. As you see right now, a lot of police officials, security officials are present here outside the residence to boost security arrangements, as the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also expected to arrive shortly. So a bit of hustle-bustle going on, Raisha. Not too many dignitaries have arrived as of now because, as I mentioned before, the preparations are still underway. But I think in about an hour from now is when a lot of top political leaders from across party lines will start arriving to pay their tribute to late Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Dharamjot, thank you for joining us on the show and getting us the latest from on ground.